That $2 weed growing in the cracks of your driveway right now is the exact biological key to tightening, sagging, hanging arm skin forever, and the multi-billion-dollar plastic surgery industry has spent decades keeping this secret buried in the dirt. Every time you hide your arms in long sleeves because you're ashamed of your bat wings, every time you avoid a sleeveless dress because of that crepey hanging skin, you are falling victim to a calculated industrial silence. The plastic surgery cartel wants you to believe that a $10,000 brachioplasty, a surgery that leaves a jagged, permanent scar from your armpit to your elbow, is your only option. They lied to you. They know this common farm weed contains a specific iridoid glycoside that physically retethers the skin to the muscle fascia. Yet they've scrubbed this research from every modern dermatological textbook. You are not destined to have sagging arms. Your skin is simply starved of a specific botanical signal, and today you are going to learn how to snap that skin back into place for the cost of a handful of weeds. Welcome to the absolute deception of the body contouring industry. We need to have a serious conversation about the $40 billion global aesthetic market and why they have a vested financial interest in your arms staying loose and flabby. Think about the last time you saw a commercial for an arm-firming cream or a sculpting gel. They show a 20-year-old model with zero body fat, and they tell you that their proprietary caffeine complex will miraculously lift your skin. It's a biological impossibility. Those creams are designed to sit on the surface, create a temporary, slight dehydration of the skin to make it look tighter for 2 hours, and then stop working the moment you wash them off. They want you on a subscription of failure. The plastic surgery industry is even more predatory. They've successfully convinced millions of women that once the skin on the triceps begins to sag, the elasticity is gone forever. They hand you a brochure for an arm lift and gloss over the reality of the recovery, the drainage tubes, the risk of nerve damage, and that horrifying, visible scar that stays with you for life. They thrive on your desperation. They know that if you discovered a way to rebuild the internal structural scaffolding of your arms using a common plant, their surgical suites would sit empty. This is not a medical oversight, it is a profit protection strategy. In the mid-20th century, before the massive corporatization of aesthetics, traditional herbal medicine utilized specific plant poultices to treat tissue laxity. But as the surgical industry grew, those records were systematically marginalized, labeled as folklore, and replaced with high-margin procedures and synthetic chemicals. Now, while I am exposing these industry secrets and sharing suppressed biological science with you today, remember that this information is for your educational empowerment. I am pulling back the curtain on the industry's greatest fear, but always consult with a holistic health professional before changing your personal routine, especially if you have pre-existing skin conditions or allergies. We are discussing the structural mechanics of skin health, but your safety is paramount. The reason your arm skin is sagging is not just gravity or age. Those are the lazy explanations the industry gives you to make you feel helpless. To fix the problem, you have to understand the microscopic war happening under your skin, specifically the crisis of the Dermal-Fascial Bond. Imagine your arm is like a bed, your tricep muscle is the mattress, and your skin is the fitted sheet. In youthful skin, there are millions of microscopic elastic tethers called collagen-anchoring fibrils that pin the skin directly to the fascia, which is the silver cling wrap-like coating over your muscle. When these tethers are tight, the skin stays pinned to the muscle no matter how much you move. But as we age, your body falls into the glycation trap. Sugar molecules in your bloodstream attach to your collagen and elastin fibers, creating what are called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs act like tiny shards of glass, physically cutting through those anchoring fibrils. One by one, the tethers snap. Once enough tethers are broken, the skin literally detaches from the underlying muscle. It becomes a loose, independent sack of tissue that gravity can now easily pull downward. This is why you can do all the tricep extensions in the world and still have sagging skin. You're strengthening the mattress, but the sheet is still detached and wrinkled. Furthermore, your arm skin is particularly vulnerable because it has the lowest density of sebaceous glands on the entire body. It is chronically dehydrated and starved of the lipids required to maintain the elastin net. Without those lipids, the elastin fibers become brittle and shatter. No amount of surface-level moisturizer can fix this because you need to reach the subcutaneous junction, the exact point where the skin meets the fascia. This brings us to the science of iridoid retensioning. This is the biological mechanism that the plastic surgeons pray you never learn. There is a specific class of botanical compounds called iridoid glycosides, specifically one called Aucubin. In the plant kingdom, Aucubin is a powerful survival chemical. It allows plants to maintain extreme structural rigidity and repair their own vascular tissue after being stepped on or crushed. When Aucubin is delivered transdermally to human skin, it initiates a bioelectric signal. It tricks the fibroblasts in your arms into believing there has been a structural emergency. In response, the body floods the area with type 3 collagen, the specific high-tension collagen used for deep tissue repair. This collagen acts like biological glue, physically regrowing the anchoring fibrils and retethering your skin to the muscle fascia. It's like putting the fitted sheet of your skin back onto the mattress and pinning it down on all four corners. The aesthetic cartel knows this compound exists, but because it's found in a plant that grows for free in every cow pasture and backyard in North America and Europe, they can't make a dime off it. So they ignore it, and they hope you do too. It is time to reveal the exact ancient farm weed that the industry has spent decades trying to suppress. I am talking about 100% raw, broadleaf plantain, scientifically known as Plantago major. Do not confuse this with the plantain fruit you find in the grocery store. Plantago major is a weed with broad, oval leaves and distinct vertical veins that look like harp strings. It is often called waybread or white man's foot because it is so resilient it grows wherever people walk. If you've ever walked through a field and seen a low-growing plant that stays green even when everything else is dying, you've seen the world's most powerful arm-tightening agent. The broadleaf plantain is a biological powerhouse. It contains the highest concentration of Aucubin found in nature, alongside a massive dose of allantoin, a compound that stimulates cellular mitosis and forces the skin to thicken and toughen. It also contains high levels of silica, the beauty mineral that provides the structural backbone for elastin fibers. But here is where you must pay absolute strict attention. You cannot go to a store and buy a plantain cream. If you see a product on a shelf containing plantain, it has been heat processed, diluted, and preserved with synthetic alcohols that have long since neutralized the Aucubin. The Aucubin molecule is extremely heat sensitive. The moment it's boiled or processed in a factory, the bioelectric signal dies. This is why the industry tested it and claimed it didn't work. They purposefully used dead, heat-treated extracts to ensure the trials failed. To tighten your arms, you must use the raw, living chemistry of the plant. You have two options. Find it in your own backyard, ensuring it hasn't been sprayed with toxic pesticides, or buy dried organic broadleaf plantain leaf from a reputable organic herb supplier. The dried leaf still contains the potent glycosides, as long as it hasn't been treated with high heat during the drying process. I am now going to give you the exact step-by-step preparation for the dermal-fascial poultice. This is the clinical-grade protocol that physically retethers skin. If you skip a step, the extraction will fail. First, you need to create a cold macerated extraction. Take a large handful of the fresh or dried broadleaf plantain leaves and place them in a stone mortar or a heavy glass bowl. You must physically bruise the leaves. Use a pestle or a heavy wooden spoon to crush and grind the leaves until they release their dark greenish-brown juices. This crushing breaks the cell wall of the plant and releases the Aucubin and allantoin into a bioavailable form. Now, you need a carrier catalyst to drag these heavy glycosides through the thick skin of the arms and down to the fascia. You need an agent that mimics human skin lipids. The absolute best catalyst for this is 100% pure, organic aloe vera gel, ideally straight from the leaf. Aloe contains lignins, which are structural molecules that can penetrate up to 7 layers of human skin, acting as a high-speed elevator for the plantain compounds. Mix 2 tablespoons of your crushed plantain mash with 2 tablespoons of pure aloe vera gel. To this, add exactly 5 drops of 100% pure witch hazel, not the drugstore kind filled with alcohol, but the pure, distilled extract. Witch hazel is a powerful tannin, which will act as a secondary astringent to tighten the surface skin while the plantain works on the deep tissue. Stir this mixture for 3 minutes until it forms a thick, dark, slightly slimy poultice. This is your structural retensioning matrix. It costs less than $2 to make a week's supply, but it contains more biological lift than a surgical suite in Beverly Hills. Now, the application protocol. This is where most people fail because they treat it like a lotion. This is not a lotion, it is a binding treatment. You must perform this protocol at night because the dermal-fascial bond can only reform when the muscles are in a state of deep, prolonged relaxation. Start by preparing your arms. You must increase the local microcirculation to open the tissue. Take a warm washcloth and wrap it around your upper arm for 2 minutes. This causes vasodilation, bringing blood to the surface and softening the fascia so it's ready to receive the Aucubin signal. Remove the cloth and pat your arm dry. Now, apply a thick, heavy layer of the plantain poultice to the entire underside of your arm, from the armpit down to the elbow. Do not rub it in until it disappears. It should stay thick and wet on the skin. Now, for the occlusive bind. You are going to use standard plastic kitchen wrap. Wrap the plastic wrap around your arm, over the poultice. Do not wrap it so tight that you cut off circulation, but tight enough to create a sealed thermal environment. The plastic wrap prevents the juices from evaporating and uses your own body heat to drive the plantain glycosides deep into the subcutaneous junction. Finally, wrap a soft elastic bandage or a long sock over the plastic to keep it in place. You are going to sleep with this bind on your arms. While you sleep, your body's repair enzymes will utilize the Aucubin to begin re-gluing those snapped anchoring fibrils. The occlusive environment ensures that for 8 hours, your skin is literally marinating in the signal to tighten and attach. Let's talk about the timeline of the reverse batwing transformation. Day 1. When you remove the bind in the morning and wash off the green residue, you will notice an immediate change in the skin snap. Gently pull the skin on your tricep away from the arm and let it go. It will snap back faster than it has in years. This is the immediate astringent effect of the tannins and the silica. The skin will feel incredibly smooth and dense to the touch. This is just the beginning. Day 7. You have now performed 4 binding treatments. This is the elastin milestone. The allantoin has forced a massive wave of new cell growth in the dermis, significantly thickening the skin. The crepey texture, that look of crumpled tissue paper, will be 50% gone. Your arms will look more defined, not because you've gained muscle, but because the skin is starting to shrink wrap around the muscle you already have. Day 30. This is the fascial anchor milestone. You have successfully re-tethered the skin. The millions of microscopic collagen fibrils have regrown and pinned the skin back to the fascia. When you hold your arm out and shake it, the jiggle will be drastically reduced. The hanging bat wing will have physically retracted because you have physically rebonded the tissue layers. The result is structural, not cosmetic. You have effectively performed a biological brachioplasty without a single incision or a single scar. You have outsmarted a multi-billion-dollar surgical industry with a weed from your backyard. You have reclaimed the structural integrity of your body by understanding the bioelectric language of plants. You have bypassed the surgeons, the marketing executives, and the chemical manufacturers who wanted you to stay loose and ashamed so they could keep their profits high. You now hold the secret to permanent arm tightening. Do not let this knowledge stay with you. Share this video with every woman you know who is hiding her arms in the summer heat. They deserve to know that the cure isn't in a hospital. It's in the earth. If this deep dive into the suppressed biology of tissue tightening has opened your eyes, hit the subscribe button right now. We are exposing the aesthetic cartel one secret at a time, and make sure you check the description box below. I have placed links to the exact raw organic broadleaf plantain leaves and the pure bioactive aloe vera you need to make this work. Do not use drugstore imitations. Get the raw materials. Start the binding protocol tonight, and I will see you in the next video.